Hey guys, Cecil here once again. This video is going to be a video response to the Happy Console Gamer. Earlier tonight I saw a video he posted online of reminiscing about the Super Nintendo and the Japanese Super Famicom, comparing them. Him and Rob Man were just, sharing their memories about the particular versions of each system and their experiences with it. So I figured, with the 20th anniversary of, the release of the Super Nintendo in America, and with Christmas, 20 years ago was when I got my first Super Nintendo. I just figured it'd be worth sharing on YouTube, my experiences when I got my first Super Nintendo. I had an NES for a few years, really enjoyed it. But I grew up in a really small town. It had like 1,600 people in northern Wisconsin. There really was not much around. We could rent some games. There were a couple places in town, but there wasn't like a Toys R Us or something you could go to. You'd have to drive a couple hours just to find a place that had a decent amount of games to even buy. But so, and like a lot of kids, your birthdays and Christmas were always the time you got your new systems and games. And back in when I was 11 years old in 1991, that was no exception. So obviously the Super Nintendo, I saw it was coming out, and I saw it came out, saw a lot of the games in Nintendo Power, and I'm like, oh god, I want this. It was my number one priority on my Christmas list that year. And I was like begging mom and dad, please, get that for me and my brother, because we kind of combined our Christmas money. So like, get us the system, we want it so badly. So yeah, it was kind of funny though. My mom, my parents were never really big into us playing games, and I'm sure a lot of parents are the same, and were the same back then too. And my mother was a little bit more lenient, but my dad's like, oh god, these games are just, a waste of freaking time. So, but my mom, went ahead and secretly got us a Super Nintendo. She was really good about keeping, secrets from us, at least as far as Christmas went. And my dad, he really saw how much my brother and I wanted this system. So I guess he didn't really converse with my mother too much. So probably about a month after she got us a Super Nintendo, he went out and bought us one too, and they kind of talked and like, oh crap, we didn't realize they didn't realize that they bought two Super Nintendos for my brother. So my mother shared this story with me a few years after it happened. It was just kind of funny. But so my dad quickly took the system back and got us a game. He got a Super Bases Loaded because he was kind of, he's a sports junkie. But yeah, I mean, the Super Nintendo, it's a great, my Super Nintendo rattles. I think there's a nickel in there. But anyways, yeah, it's a great system. I mean, I don't really think you have to, be a rocket scientist, if you grew up with this or during the 16-bit era. I think for a lot of people, this is probably their favorite system of all time. At least top three, probably. I really never had a Japanese Super Famicom, or I've seen them. Some of my friends have import systems. Yeah, I do like the design. I know Europe got the that version of it as well, and we got the kind of the boxy purple and gray brick here. But America, I don't know if it was kind of a it was a redesign, obviously, but we did get a redesigned system that kind of is a little bit more similar to the Super Famicom in this, and even though it's still got the same color scheme, it's kind of bland. The only thing I didn't like about the SNES 2 here, even though it kind of came out in the system's life, it didn't support S-Video. The old gray brick here supported S-Video, and this didn't. So it's not a big deal. I mean, AV is still fine, but I know Nintendo was probably just trying to save money. This thing's a lot lighter, probably simplified the design so they could sell it cheaper. But yeah. So yeah, the Christmas that in '91, my brother and I, we got that system. We unwrapped it. I mean, we didn't really barely touch. I think we got like some skateboards or something to that Christmas. We didn't even really touch, anything else other than that Super Nintendo that first day. I mean, we just played Super Mario World like all day. We tried out Super Bases Loaded too, but my favorite by far was definitely Super Mario World, and that was a great time. I had I still have the original Super Nintendo. It's mine. I would never get rid of it in a 1,000 years. It's definitely probably my second favorite system of all time. The Saturn's number one. But yeah, it's a great system. I mean, I would never ever want to get rid of it. I've got a decent library of games too. Maybe I'll share those in a video at some point down the road. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share my experiences with the Super Nintendo, since the Happy Console Gamer and Rob Man asked for a video response, so I figured I'd share. So hopefully I'll start posting more videos here a little bit more. I know I really haven't done many in several months, and I really need to get back to doing it. So you guys take it easy. I'll see you next time, and have a good one.